And here we go. One. And let's rock and roll. Thank you very much for coming. Mike, thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Honored to be on your show, Sanjay. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Kishor, welcome back again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, and it's something that I was looking forward to today's conversation. I want to say that right at the get-go because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite destinations the most, and it is none other than Mustang. You've been there,
Yep.
Obviously. You've been there for such a long time. Mike, why don't you start off by sharing how has the experience been in Nepal, and then we'll jump to Mustang shortly.
Great. Well, I've only been here for about 2.5 months, but it's been an adventure, and no day has been the same. Meeting tons of people, thanks to my great team and my predecessor, Garrett Wilkerson, who has just helped create a great network of friends and partners with the embassy. I've been able to just dive right in. And I've been able to travel quite a bit. So as we'll talk about, was just in Mustang recently with Kishor and looking at some trips coming up next week as well. So it's just been really just an incredible experience. And I just feel so lucky that, I'm able to be here, represent my country, and really just help build partnerships between the U.S. and Nepal. And, we're here celebrating this year 77 years of partnership between the U.S. and Nepal, and I just see so much tremendous opportunity in the years ahead. So I have 3 years here, looking forward to it.
That's awesome, and I want to show this right in the beginning, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So
You found me. Okay.
That's Kishor Dai, right?
Yeah.
Dai, यतिखेर के भइरहेछ भन्दिनु त सबैजनालाई?
We had such a fun, and then, luckily we traveled Mustang for 2 reasons. One is AFC project, and second is my last picture for my exhibitions. So it was a really spiritually very powerful place. Probably Mike have also felt that. It's very powerful place, and we had such a fun.
No, that's awesome. So हजुर दुईजना चाहिँ यो पहिलोचोटि यतिखेर भेटे कि हजुर पहिल्यै भेटिसक्नु भएको थियो? माइक पहिल्यै भेटिसक्नु भएको थियो हजुर?
We met once actually.
No, like before that. So we actually met in Kathmandu and had a couple of meetings beforehand. But this was our first time on the road together, Bahila Patak. And so we were just, just so inspired by all of these sites and the different monasteries that we're visiting. And this particular one just really, really struck us. And just look at the lighting in that too, right?
It's amazing. No, it's amazing. Okay, Kishor, there's something specific that we want to share with everybody. I'll show this right in the beginning, and then I want you guys to show it as well to everybody. All right, there you go. An exhibition of 30 panoramas by Kishor Kayastha. Kishor, welcome back with a fantastic exhibition. All right, tell everybody a little bit about this.
This is my dream come true. It's more like dream became a reality now. It's been 20 years. Like I've been doing photography for a Mustang, and it's more like a very compassion project. A compassion means I take it very personally. Compassion means itself is a personal. And those 20 years, my trip is all more like spiritual healing, like karmas. Then because I'm in a fashion industry, I get so many, the different thoughts I came in my head every time, bump, a lot of good things and bad things. And every time I travel Mustang, I feel so relaxed. I feel I was like polished and spiritually. And that's what my collection is. Now I feel like I have to put it for the public for the first time, and it's all my reflections, whatever I felt that, and it's to the public now.
पहिलोचोटि मुस्ताङ कहिले गयो? हजुर कहिले जानुभएको थियो पहिलोचोटि मुस्ताङ?
पहिलोचोटि was 2004.
सो 2004 मा जाँदाखेरि हैन, मलाई अहिलेसम्म त्यो क्षणिक कुराहरू मुस्ताङको याद छ कि मलाई, हैन? मलाई जोमसोम एकदम मनपर्छ. जोमसोम मलाई एकदमै नै मनपर्छ. कागबेनी एकदमै मनपर्छ. माथि लोमानथाङको त अब त्यो स्वर्ग जस्तै हो त्यो, हैन? त्यो इट इज हेभन.
Absolutely.
हजुर 2004 मा जाँदाखेरि मुस्ताङ कस्तो थियो र यो 20 वर्षको अन्तरालमा कसरी फरक आछ?
यो त अति नै डिफरेन्स छ अहिले 2024 सम्म पुग्दाखेरि 20 इयर्सको जर्नीमा, विच इज मलाई लाग्थ्यो त्यो लेभलको सिफ्ट चाहिँ खास 100 इयर्समा हुन्थ्यो होला क्या प्रायली. त्यति फास्ट चेन्जेस भयो. किनभने आई रिमेम्बर हिस्ट्री विथ माई वाइफ, एन्ड हामी तातो पानीदेखि नै हिँडेर जान्थ्यौँ कि. एक्चुली बाटो थियो तर यति डेन्जर थियो कि हामी बस डराएर चढ्थ्यौँ. सो हामीलाई जोमसोमसम्म पुग्न नै 6-7 days लाग्थ्यो कि अनि अहिले अब यु इमेजिन 1 day मा यु रिच लोमान्थाङ होइन अनि त्यही पनि रिजन होला सायद मलाई यो पिक्चर्स चाहिँ अहिले पब्लिकमा राख्नु मन पर्यो सो हामीले त्यो स्पिरिचुअल ठाउँलाई एकदमै नेम अफ हुन्छ नि त्यो विकास गर्ने भन्दैमा त्यो ऱ्यान्डम भइरहेछ त्यहाँ द पिपल आर नट अवेर हाउ टु प्रोटेक्ट द स्पिरिचुअल प्लेस मोनेस्ट्री एन्ड अल द्याट अब यसपालिको ट्रिपमा सी लट अफ त्यो सिसावाला घरहरू अल कङ्क्रिट बिल्डिङ होइन त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै स्याड फिल भएको छ मलाई सो त्यो भएकोले एउटा पिक्चर चाहिँ बिफोर एन्ड आफ्टर राख्दा छ एक्जिबिसनमा फर्स्ट पिक्चर्स एन्ड लास्ट पिक्चर्स फ्रम सेम स्पट कागबेनी अनि त्यो टाइममा इफ आई रिकल द्याट डेज दोज डेज यु नो लाइक हामी पहिलो नेपाली थियो कि त्यो होटलमा त्यहाँ कागबेनी भरिमा सबैले हामीले हेर्थ्यो सरप्राइज हुन्थ्यो देयर इज नो नेपाली टुरिस्ट द्याट
2004
मा होइन अनि सरप्राइज चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म हामी त्यो दाइहरू त्यो दिदीहरूसँग अहिलेसम्म लिङ्क छौँ अनि रिमेम्बर त्यो टाइममा बसेको पैसै लिँदैन थियो कि रुमको दे चार्ज यु ओन्ली फर फुड नाउ इमेजिन डिफरेन्सेस त्यही ठाउँमा एक दिनको 1 लाख रुपियाँ पर्ने होटेलहरू छ कि द्याट त्यो हुन्छ नि अनि मलाई एकदमै ब्याड फिल यसपालि भएको चाहिँ लोमान्थाङमा हामी नै माइकसँग जाँदा आई जस्ट वेकअप मर्निङमा म त्यो कस्तो डेजाबु भए जस्तो क्या आई फिल लाइक सो स्याड त्यो काठमाडौँमै बसेको हर्नहरू धेरै बजिरहेको थियो त्यो युज टु थिएन म झ्यालबाट हेर्छु त प्रयले त्यहाँ मोर देन 50-60 स्कुटर एन्ड बाइक साउन्ड लाइक त्यो चेन्जेस यु क्यान इजिली फिल
आइसक्यो है चेन्जेस है
ठुलै चेन्जेस भयो
Mike, since I want to tell everybody that Mike, you do understand Nepali and you do
Bhujna
speak.
Sakshu, Bastama, Hajar.
Aliali Nepali ban ramro
Asi
cha.
Pratisat Matra.
Mike, US Ambassadors Fund for Culture Preservation.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, share everybody a bit about this.
Yeah, so the Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation is a fund by the United States, and it is worldwide, and Nepal happens to be one of the largest recipients of this fund, the AFCP fund. And so there are currently 28 sites around Nepal. A few are active, most are complete. And that Nepal has received over $4.5 million for these funds. So really what it looks to do is preserve physical infrastructure, like such as monasteries in Upper Mustang, as well as intangible elements of culture as well. And just excited to announce also that funding opportunities have just opened up for the next round of AFCP. So if people can go check out our website, there's the announcement explaining all the details for this AFCP fund. Basically, what we're looking for right now is just like a one-pager concept note, you know, with what the project idea is, why it's important to restore this particular site or this element of Nepali culture, and just have like a sample rough budget with that. And so my team and I will take a look at it, and then we'll follow up with more questions if we're interested in the proposal. But yeah, applications open this month.
So share, we'll show that. We'll be more than happy to show that. Share a bit about thought process behind Mustang.
Why focusing on Mustangs?
Yeah.
Focusing on Mustang has been a priority for the United States just because of the rich Tibetan cultural heritage over there and just how it's been so deeply impacted, in particular by climate change. So, you know, as Kishor mentioned, you know, perhaps back in your original trip, like 20 years ago or so, it looked one way, but now that's just the landscape has changed tremendously, and that is driving population shifts as well, right? So communities are leaving, and as a result, some of these historical sites are being neglected, and so it really is a priority for the United States to help maintain and preserve culture in that area.
And that's one of the reasons why we decided that whenever the conversation started with Kishor as well, with the amazing work that he was doing, and we decided, all right, why not be a part of it?
Absolutely. And so, like for example, one of the sites we went to, it was a completed AFCP site, Gargompa. So, like the day before we got there, there were thousands of lamas and pilgrims at that site for a large religious festival. And speaking to the lamas and some of the team who helped restore that site, they were saying really because of the AFCP project that has reinvigorated the local community there and helped bring so many people to that site. So it was just really rewarding to hear that and see all the photos from all the pilgrims at that site. And so looking at the work that we're doing with Kishor and also with the grant that we've given to the Gehendra Damal Foundation, really we're just trying to shine the light on the importance and significance of that region. as well as shine the light on all the different AFCP projects in Nepal. And really, I got to tell you, before I came out here, speaking with the AFCP team in Washington, D.C., Nepal is the star of the AFCP program. And so just so many eyes are on what we're doing here in Nepal and in Washington, D.C., and just really hoping to continue the momentum and support behind all of the rich cultural projects and heritage here in the country.
That's perfect. And 2025 and beyond as well.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's perfect. Kishor, how did everything pan out, and how was the support important for you as well?
Oh, this is so emotional. I feel like. Because of if you remember last 3 years back in your podcast, I talked about Mustang. I was ready by 2020 itself. I was ready for exhibitions. For let's say last 3-4 years, I knocked every door. I know every rich people and every art lovers in Nepal. I knocked every door, and certainly I got this support from embassy, U.S. embassy. It's a magic. It's pretty. I take it as a spiritually, it's probably some good karma that I got because of. I always wanted to do big show, not a small size. The Mustang is such a massive, it's a massive. I want to represent that at the vastness on exhibitions, and I'm grateful for this.
And you really, I saw one of the test prints from Kishor Dai. So I was over at his house, and he unrolled the test print of how, 14 feet long.
Yeah.
So maybe you can put an image up there later in post. But basically, you look at that image and you are just pulled into it, and it's you really feel the isolation and the loneliness of those images. But it's not a sadness. It's just kind of just the vastness and just a reminder of how powerful, Nepal is and the landscapes are, and how you are just one insignificant creature in this vast, beautiful landscape of Nepal. It's just incredible, and I can't wait for people to experience it firsthand when they're at the exhibit in January.
Mustang is such a place, you will find yourself such a small person, it's a massive.
I think we rolled a picture downstairs, I know, and I want to show that to everybody. Do you have it, Mr. V? Yeah, show it to everybody if that's okay with you. We rolled a picture downstairs, and यो कताको थियो रे यो तस्बिर? झारकोटको थियो हैन यो? हैन, अब this is definitely not going to justify it, हैन, but let's zoom in अलिकति. Zoom in the This is definitely not going to justify it, but whatever so this is the scale of the picture that we have, right?
Yeah, right.
How tall, what's the length and the width of it?
This is all image width is same, 42 inch. And lengthwise, we have 3 different sizes. Some of the pictures are 20 feet and 14 feet and 10 feet. And we're supposed to do everything in the large scale, but we don't have such gallery in Nepal. That's only the one place that we have at Art Council, and probably they have only 3 or 4 walls, which I can put 20 feet pictures. And most of the wall they have is 13.8 inch, so that way we put more 10 feet and 20 feet and 14 feet some of the pictures.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, guys. This is the one that I really want to zoom in there. Okay, well, यो 14 फिट हैन यो
14 फिट right
14 फिट ठुलो छ हैन यो भन्दा ठुलो पनि छ हजुर
20 feet
20 फिटको सबसे ठुलो हुने भयो हैन त mesmerizing नै हुन्छ होला नि
and the canvas as well, right? Right, so it can last for how many years?
It's archival, the museum archival printer.
Yeah,
it's a lifelong.
Yeah,
it's lifelong
for life.
Yeah,
and you printed it here. Wow.
Yeah.
पहिलोचोटि जाँदाखेरि र भनौँ न पहिलोचोटि जाँदाखेरि हजुरले कल्पना गर्नुभएको थियो किशोर दाइ कि मैले यो तस्बिरहरू कुनै न कुनै दिन एक्जिबिट गर्छु भनेर र बचाएर राख्छु 2 दशक भनेर सोच्नु भएको थियो
मैले चाहिँ कहिल्यै सोचिनँ त्यो 2019 पछि मात्र आई स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिङ आई शुड give back to the society. I have to represent that my idea to the people. त्योभन्दा अगाडि त I just shot for myself हुन्छ नि म आफ्नो लागि मात्र जान्थेँ I feel good and त्यही अहिले भने जस्तै it's more spiritual journey मेरो लागि अनि मैले कहिले पनि सोच्दिनँ थिएँ कि म I never put any pictures on website or whatever on Instagram. I never do that. And 2019 but I started thinking okay now I want to put, but it took me 3 years to meet such people who can support me.
त्यो बागलुङबाटै नि होइन माइक इफ यु रिमेम्बर दिस एज वेल राइट बागलुङबाटै ल्यान्डस्केप चेन्ज हुन थाल्छ कि स्ट्रेट फ्रम बागलुङ इट सेल्फ होइन वन्स वी गेट टिल जोमसोम it's a completely different world when I think about it, right?
Right.
And as we progress and we get to a Chame पुग्ने बित्तिकै त्यो मलाई लाग्छ कि म अर्कै संसारमा छु
एकदम
होइन अनि माथि त्यो एउटा त्यो गुफा छ नि के भन्छ माजुङबा गुफा हो कि there's a cave up top as well. Once we get there, it feels like we're in a completely different landscape. हजुरलाई personally, what did you think of the landscape like change in front of your eyes? And especially when you're taking a picture or filming it.
यस्तो छ त्यो फिल चाहिँ जतिखेर नि मैले 2019सम्म फोटो खिच्दाखेरि मैले त केही पनि सोच्दिनँ थिएँ कुनै ठाउँ त यस्तो थियो कि मैले फोटो खिच्न बिर्सिन्थेँ कि आई जस्ट लभ प्लेस एन्ड चाहिँ त्यो योभन्दा राम्रो ठाउँ कहीँ संसारमा हुँदैन जस्तो लाग्थ्यो कि मलाई सो अब त्यो ठाउँ चाहिँ अहिले सेम ठाउँ हामी ट्राभल गर्दाखेरि त्यो रोडले गर्दा होला त्यो पपुलेसनले गर्दा होला कन्स्ट्रक्सनले गर्दा होला त्यो चार्म चाहिँ छ जस्तो लाग्दैन मलाई
त्यो चार्म चाहिँ एउटा बिस्तारै हराइरहेछ
राइट आई थिङ्क अहिलेदेखि नै हामीले वी हेभ टु बी केयरफुल त्यहाँको लोकल गभर्मेन्ट्सहरू होइन अब यस्तो होटलै बनाए पनि आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिङ गुम्बा सेपमै बनाउनु भित्र एनी फेसिलिटी यु क्यान प्रोभाइड तर आउटर लुक त एटलिस्ट त्यो ट्रेडिसनल हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई
कतै न कतैबाट होइन आफ्नो प्रिजर्भ चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ मलाई अघि नै माइक र हामी कुरा गरेर बेलामा होइन मलाई एउटा कुरा झट्ट 2006 in 2006 when you were here for the first time right you trekked throughout Annapurna
right
share that story.
Sure. So in 2006, that was my first time in Nepal, and I was just a young, lost backpacker at that time, really. So, landing in Kathmandu, just mesmerized by everything, just being so new to me, this guy from California, right? And I just made my way to Pokhara and found myself on a 12-day trek through the Annapurnas. And really, it was just an incredibly life-changing experience, trekking through the jungle and then through the Bahad and up into the Hamal ultimately. And I don't know how long I was trekking for, man. Maybe like 8 hours a day, just starving, burning so many calories. But once I finally made it to the tea house at night, sitting around the stove, warming my feet, eating dal bat, it was just the ultimate reward after a long day's trek. And then just in the evening to go outside the tea house and just seeing under the stars like Reshin Fidiri with everybody. It was just such an innocent, pure experience. And, we're talking about this. It just, in 2006 when I went, that was really before, we had these things.
Cell phones,
it's, and it was just such a more, like, you were just so much more in the moment and in the experience then. And it was just, like, those memories stick with me. I remember the photos that I took from that trip, and just I remember little kids chasing after a chicken when I asked for kukura komasu for dinner, and then I was like, wait a minute, there's a chicken running in the distance in the yards, So it was such a beautiful experience, and after 12 days of trekking in the Annapurnas, I got back to Pokhara. The bus was full. So I climbed on top of the bus with a bunch of guys and just hung onto the railings and rode all the way back to Kathmandu. I don't know for how long, maybe like 6 or 7 hours over there. But I get back to Kathmandu, man, and I'm uploading my photos at an internet cafe with my digital camera.
Yeah.
And as I was uploading these photos, a woman probably in her 50s, I think from the United States, she was a backpacker herself. She saw these photos from the mountains, and she said, oh, those are great photos. Mike, is this your first time here? And it's like, oh, yeah, this. I just finished a trek in Annapurnas. And she said, you know what? This is not going to be your first time. Everybody who comes to Nepal comes back. And, her words were so prescient because I came back in 2012 for another trek. And again in 2016, where I studied in a Kapan monastery for a little over a month. So just so many life-changing experiences centered on my experience here in Nepal. Just so grateful for it.
Oh, that's amazing. I want to. Oh, there you go. This is from 2017.
Oh my god! So that was I think that was just like I had a bunch of B-roll maybe on one of my old phones, and I put this together. Yeah.
Awesome.
So just, you know.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch base and tell everybody a bit about Mike as well. From the time we met, I've realized that you mostly have a camera in your hand.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the phone, like a proper camera. Yeah. When did you get passionate for photography and videography, Mike?
So, you know, growing up as a kid, I was always into photography, into video. I wanted to work in advertising, actually. So when you had an advertising background too, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
So I grew up in California. So of course you're in the mecca for entertainment and for media. So I went to UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles. Lived around Hollywood. I worked at an ad agency that was tied to Apple. So definitely thought I was going to go into advertising, but I actually found my way into television, so television news. I started off as a researcher, and then ultimately as an associate producer. I auditioned, which went terribly, because I was just so lost. I didn't know which camera to look at, and I just didn't think I had like the face for TV. So I'm just like, all right, no, I don't. So I stayed behind the scenes and just produced news, and so that was really just a way to, leverage, dive into the world of film and video and editing as well. And so I'm just lucky that now as a diplomat, I'm still able to use those skills and work with amazing teams and, find great artists such as Kishor as well to help, stay in that world, that creative world.
Yeah. How is Mike as a photographer and a videographer? Let's keep the diplomat slightly aside, Kishor.
I haven't seen much of his pictures, but like the way you do the editing is really, really interesting. I really like that.
Thanks,
man. And he have a good eye, and I've seen some of the pictures from Mustang. I have a good eye. It's very important, and that's what I say. Taking pictures and making pictures is different. And normally we human, we shoot every day millions of pictures, 1 second 24 frame that we produce through eyes. And I'll ask you one question: how many pictures do you really remember at the end of the day?
That's a good one. I barely remember. Just a few. Handful.
That's a good pictures, That's why I say photography needs time, passion, and perfection. It takes a lot of time. Otherwise, photography is such an easy work. I must say the world's most easiest job is photography. Just 1 second you press, it's pictures. But if you want really good pictures, it takes a lot of time, effort, the way we remember one picture a day, it's massive. We don't remember. I think if we calculate 15 hours a day, probably we click probably millions of pictures.
So
let's keep it photography that way, That is a good pictures.
बुवाले के भन्नुहुन्थ्यो किशोर दाइ रामेश्वरले बुवाले कसरी चाहिँ बुझाउनुहुन्थ्यो हजुर सानो हुँदाखेरि मैले टच बेस गर्न मिल्छ भने यो
Of course, I'm lucky. My mom and dad are photographer. They always inspire me. अनि जहिले पनि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो pictures भनेको you have to connect. त्यो belongings हुनुपर्छ picturesमा. Pictures भनेको त्यो random खिच्ने मात्र हैन. It's not like passport pictures. If you're making art, it takes a lot of times. Photography यस्तो हुन्छ. मेरो विचारमा photography anyone can do, but it has to have a style and vision. Style can be copy, but vision is all about how you grew up, what's your education background, what's your friend, what's your culture. That's reflect on your work. If you see my pictures, that more like my things, my culture, my things, thought process, you can see in my pictures. I think that's a good part of my pictures.
So हाम्रो यो एक्जिबिसनमा हैन मुस्ताङ हैन यसमा चाहिँ मान्छेले चाहिँ के कुरा चाहिँ सोचेर चाहिँ एक्जिबिसनमा आउँदा ठिक हुन्छ होला कि हैन यो एक्जिबिसन चाहिँ एक्ज्याक्टली हजुरको माइन्ड हजुरको थट प्रोसेस हजुरको भिजनबाट गएको छ नि त हैन थोरै यसको यो एक्जिबिसनको बारेमा बुझाउनु पर्दाखेरि
आई थिंक यो एक्जिबिसनलाई इट टेक 3 डिफरेन्ट वे एउटा चाहिँ आर्टिस्ट एउटा चाहिँ टेक्निकल जसले नेपालमा हामीले वी क्यान डु लट अफ थिङ्स फ्रम नेपाली फोटोग्राफर्स भन्ने इन्सपिरेसनको लागि थर्ड चाहिँ फर एभ्री वान जसले नेपाल चिनेको छैन हाउ ब्युटिफुल नेपाल इज भनेर जस्तै लेम्यानहरूको लागि चाहिँ जस्ट कम एन्ड इन्जोय नेपाल एन्ड इफ यु आर नट बिन देयर इट्स सच अ ब्युटिफुल प्लेस फर आर्टिस्टलाई चाहिँ इट फर अ पर्फेक्सन इट टेक लट अफ टाइम यु निड अ प्यासन It's not like you want to say it's not just snapshots, right? अनि अर्को चाहिँ अब इन्सपिरेसनलाई यङ जेनेरेसनलाई इन्सपिरेसन चाहिँ के हुनसक्छ भन्दाखेरि हामीले यो गोल यस्तो स्केलमा वी क्यान डु सच थिङ्स इन नेपाल त्यो इन्सपिरेसन हुन्छ नेपालमा वाइ फोटोग्राफर सुट्स अन्ली केटीहरू र कन्टेन्ट मात्र लेट्स सुट्स एभ्रिबडी नेपालको ल्यान्डस्केप कल्चर इट्स नट जस्ट अ फ्यासन since I'm also a fashion photographer, तर नेपालमा there are many ways to do photography to promote our country. So inspiration हुनसक्छ young photographer, young generation सबैलाई हुन्छ नि नेपाललाई प्रमोट गर्न अथवा नेपालको पोसिबिलिटिजहरू we can score anywhere. Like म यति कन्फिडेन्स छु कि यो पिक्चर्स चाहिँ क्यान बी इन्टरनेसनल. सो त्यो पनि एक किसिमको कन्ट्रिब्युसन हो नि नेपालको लागि. Beside artists, like I'll be more than happy if I take this exhibition to the international and tell Nepal is such a beautiful, come and see, and the invitations for Nepal.
No, that's very well put. Mustang किन छान्नु भयो किशोर दाइ?
Mustang चाहिँ यस्तो छ, it has a small history. अब मेरो चाइल्डहुडको कुरा हो त्यो. It's not, it sounds like a funny अहिले चाहिँ long time back, like probably म grade 3 मा पढ्थेँ अनि त्यो कोजागत पूर्णिमाको दिनमा राजा भक्तपुर आउँछ नवदुर्गामा. Right, I was like arrested by police actually. Suddenly स्कुलबाट आइरहेको थिएँ, पुलिसले झ्यापझुप गऱ्यो होइन. Then realize actually त्यो दिन मैले कालो अम्ब्रेला स्कुलबाट फर्किरहेको थिएँ कि. And that day I realized कालो फ्ल्याग भनेको चाहिँ ब्याड फर किङ टाइपले. त्यस्तो केही गरेन, पुलिसले खालि राख्यो एकछिन बस्छ भाइ पठाइदियो. That time like I first time introduced of किङ कस्तो राम्रो किङ and all that. So that day त्यो केही दिनमै I realized थाहा पाएँ कि मैले there's another king in Nepal. मुस्ताङमा पनि किङ छ भनेर.
The kingdom of Lo.
I was fascinated and I was first time introduced about Mustang. अनि अलिअलि फोटोहरू हेरेको थिएँ, मलाई I was really interested to go there. त्यतिकै थियो, तर after such a long time मेरो चाहिँ अलिकति फोटोग्राफी स्टाइलहरू चेन्ज गरिराख्ने बानी थियो. अनि I do a lot of different kind of work. अनि त्यही दौरानमा मेबी म मुस्ताङ जान्छु भनेर फर्स्ट ट्रिप चाहिँ गऱ्यो मेरो विथ माई वाइफ. सी अलवेज विथ मी मेरो होल ट्रिपमा. सी इज मोस्ट सपोर्टिङ पर्सन इन माई लाइफ. अनि तर त्यहाँ पुगेपछि चाहिँ मलाई लागेन कि यो पिक्चर चाहिँ आई टेक इट एज अ कमर्सियली एज अ हुन्छ नि टु बी अ पपुलर. Let's keep it for like a passion project भनेर. So we go
at that time you were into fashion photography. That's how we met.
Yeah, I do fashion, corporate portrait advertising जहरू.
अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ हजुरले चाहिँ there you go. Man, you guys are finding like pictures from like vintage photos.
2016, yeah.
Whoa. Interesting. Nice.
But Kishor, on our trip, you talked a lot about just kind of the coincidences that arose and, like perhaps spiritual synchronicities that kind of led you to this project as well, right?
Right. That's what I initially said. I was like, whenever I was in Mustang, I feel such a different. And probably because of those trips, I became more spiritual these days. I heal myself actually. Whatever I have a bad thought and bad process in my work, and once I visit the Mustang, it clean up actually. Day by day, trip by trip, I think I have such a different vision for photography nowadays, and looking at the life is completely different. And I feel so good these days. I feel like, the purpose. I am clear about the purpose of life.
I remember we had a long discussion a few days back. He ended up in the one evening and he was like, Sanjay, this is what I am doing. And we had a long discussion about the purpose of life. Because the most important thing is you might be doing millions of things. We might be doing millions of things in our life.
I was confused, I was confused. I do everything. I was always after materialistic stuff in a camera, this and that. I feel bad if somebody don't realize my work, if somebody did not, recognize my work or something like that. That's all bad things. That's a stupid thing now I realize. And I am the most, the calm and beautiful peace and relaxed state now.
No, this is good to know. Kishor, I have known you for a long time. I know what you're talking about now. Mike, how has traveling really changed your perspective as well? Let me touch back in a way that I've realized that you've been to some of the toughest places in the world. I'll just touch base on, I'll just
Yeah,
keep
sure.
it to that, right? Some places are pretty tough that you've been posted as well.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
say it that way. Keeping oneself calm as well, photography or spirituality, both come hand in hand. Maybe I'll talk about it that as well.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way too.
Yeah.
Has it helped you out?
100%. Like as you mentioned, I've been a diplomat for almost 14 years now. Served in Bangladesh, Iraq, Pakistan, Qatar, Egypt, and Burma most recently.
Yeah.
And so Burma, of course, was during right after the military regime launched their coup and just dealing in the aftermath of that. And so, in all these places, it's been, definitely its fair share of challenges. But I think really I'll go back to it again, the experience that I had at Kapan Monastery in 2016 really shifted how I look at these challenging situations because at that time I had just left my assignment in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Really just a great experience, but quite stressful. So I needed kind of just a bit of a sabbatical and time to reset. And so in the monastery, we go back to these phones. You lock up your phone. I took a vow of silence. And for a little over a month, we meditated, about 300 of us, pretty much from like 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. with some lessons and some Dharma talk in the day. And really, it was more, rather than, the focus was a scientific and analytic approach to your mind. So we learned how to better analyze our thoughts and how our thoughts are constructed, and really just gain a deeper sense of, what are good thoughts? What are bad thoughts? What are neutral thoughts? And it's just I came into that experience already with a bit of a background in meditation.
Yeah.
But receiving those teachings and just being in that contained environment and that incubator for a month really just helped me manage, I hope, stressful situations outside of the monastery. So all of us, we have busy lives, no matter what you're doing, family, professional, whatever. And it's just more, I think it taught me how to just, be aware of what I'm thinking and also recognize that not what I'm thinking isn't necessarily the truth or it's me, and it's just more of a passing thought. And so like a classic metaphor is that really our mind, our true selves are like the sky. It's like the blue sky, right? And all the thoughts that we have throughout the day are just like little different clouds. So you have white, happy, fluffy clouds, and then you have these big, dark storm clouds every once in a while. But no matter what these clouds are, the true you is the blue sky, watching it all unfold. And so I really try to apply this realization to these everyday experiences that we're having, like right now, and in my personal life and professional life, and and hopefully it's kept me calm in some pretty interesting situations.
That's very good saying.
Yeah.
And even from Mustang, that's what I've learned actually. We mind is never free.
Yeah.
Right. So the mantra that I've learned from there is a Mustang actually.
Yeah.
So true meaning of the mantra, man is mana, traya is traya, free. Mana is mine, traya is free. So free our mind is, then you realize what is life.
Yeah.
That's something that I never heard. Mana ra traya? Feri भन्नु
Mantra,
mantra.
man is mine, tra is traya, traya is free.
Man free.
Yeah. When you man free, then you relax. And you realize, there's a saying, the word called anandame vyasat. The purpose of life is every soul is seeking for happiness, but we don't know how to be happy.
We need to figure it out how to be happy.
Yeah.
Rewarding part of your job, Mike, if you don't mind me asking this is on a personal level.
Yeah.
From Dhaka to Pakistan, Qatar, Iraq.
Yeah.
I read a bit about, I think my team summarized a bit about your TEDx talk where you talk about, cheating death a little bit, So rewarding part of what you do when you look back now.
Yeah. I think it really is doing something bigger than yourself and helping other people. It's simply that. And, if I can just go into my background a little bit. So my birth mother was a refugee from the Vietnam War. She came over as a boatwoman after the war, and the boat was sinking, and the story goes she was rescued and then brought to San Diego, where I was born, and then given up for adoption. So I was an orphan for a little bit, but then adopted into a family where my father, he was actually a pilot in the Vietnam War.
In the Vietnam War,
So
right?
there's this whole interesting overlap right there. And but just growing up in that, that huge family, so 7 other siblings, 2 other are adopted from other families. It's just I always had a sense that I've been given a second chance at life because, man, who knows what the alternative could have been? I could have been, not in California, not in the United States, could have been somewhere else completely different. So the idea of reciprocity and returning the favor that I've been given to other people has been such a guiding light for me. And so I think just with this job, I just feel grateful that I'm able to travel and meet so many wonderful people and hear their stories and try to help out a little bit where I can with these projects that we're doing. Whether it's like a small grant that we're giving to a group or like an educational exchange program where people are going to the United States. And just one other thought on this. In Burma, I had a really dear friend and colleague, Deb Lin. She was the chargé d'affaires. So that means she was the acting ambassador during that time. Wonderful leader, great boss. She recently retired. And so she's back home in the United States, kind of outside of this whole diplomatic system. And she just messaged me on Instagram saying, I'm enjoying my freedom now, but I'm really just wondering, what was all this for? This whole career that I had as a diplomat, was it worth it? And I texted her last night and just saying yeah, absolutely, it was worth it. And just imagine how many people you've helped or just influenced because of your work as a diplomat. And just looking at Burma, all the humanitarian assistance that she helped facilitate, literally saving people's lives who were fleeing the regime. So it's just to know that you've helped at least one person. It's just I could retire and be happy with that. Honestly.
No, very well said. I'll take that note. And there's something that I really want to add while you were saying about your dear friend. I do this for that one person. So I believe whatever we do it for that one person whose life we can change by knowingly or unknowingly, right? That's the same thing for you, and most probably that's the same thing for him as well.
Yeah. It's it has to be something other than yourself, because you're right. I think when you're younger, it is about the material chase, because that's kind of what we're indoctrinated into. But I think you reach a certain point where you recognize its importance, but you hopefully you elevate and move past that to something a little more meaningful.
More meaningful and more long-lasting as well, and somewhere or the other trying to go ahead and make a change which is bigger than yourself as well, and that's something that resonates with me as well. I think I'm about to reach 40, and I think that I'm thinking that way. I remember last time having a chat with Kishor Dai, and we were talking about his exhibition and what he wants to do and where he's trying to take this further as well. And Kishor Dai is a pioneer. He's pioneer at what he does. Not because you're sitting in my table, I'm saying that, because I've known you for such a long time, and the amount of work that Kishor Dai has done, and the amount of the body of work that he's put into Nepal. For generations to come, your work is going to be, and your legacy is going to stay forever. I already know that, because my younger brothers look up to you, who take pictures, who are into photography. So Kishor Dai, first of all, thank you so much for that as well.
Wow. I'm always happy what I'm doing now. That's the most beautiful things that I do in my life. I just love to create the pictures, and I enjoy my life.
That's the best thing ever, right? To find out what you're good at and then follow it through, right?
Absolutely.
I know. That's something that's very rewarding as well. And I'm glad that from the moment we met, I'm glad that it's the same with all three of us right here sitting in this table, because we love what we do, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day, right? मलाई थोरै यसमा अलिकति फर्केर जान्छु हैन. Coming to what you just said and adding on to that, right? You're here for 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Right? So let's go ahead and just the vision for the next 3 years while you're here, right? Substantial work. Is there anything specific that you are thinking, as well as along with the embassy's line as well? Is there anything specific that you personally want to go ahead and foresee in the next 3 years that you're here and beyond?
I mean, in the next 3 years, of course, just hoping to grow and evolve the U.S. Nepal partnership to something even more dynamic. And I think coming from the other projects I've worked on in other countries, I'm really hoping to dive into the startup community and also tech and AI. Of course, that's a hot buzzword, but I think within the State Department, there's a lot of interest in helping develop nascent startups. And just working in other countries, we were able to bring in a lot of American expertise, American tech companies, and American angel investors into these other countries I worked in. And so really the idea is that you bring in this expertise and you just foster new linkages and new partnerships between American and Nepali organizations in this case. And really it's just like skill sharing best practices, and then if it makes sense, perhaps there's like a business angle and investment that can come along the way. And so really I'm already starting to have these types of conversations and just going into the next few years ahead, really hoping to deepen that and see where we can help out in business, tech, and AI. And of course, we're already doing a lot of amazing programming. I think, the hip hop melas, the creators melas were hugely popular here in Nepal, and we're looking to build on that and expand that and maybe take it outside of Kathmandu and just give those opportunities to some folks outside of the valley.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I remember having this conversation with Garrett and the team last year when we're thinking of doing it definitely towards the other parts of the country as well, like other metropolitan cities as well. That's going to be a fantastic thing. Like personally, Vast Media Network is game on for that.
Great.
If you need any support.
Yeah. And just one other note on that real quick too. I think a really important partner in this too are Nepali diaspora, Nepali Americans, right? So we're linked in with that great community. I used to live in New York City, so I was over in Queens quite a bit, in Jackson Heights, where a lot of great Nepali American entrepreneurs are out there as well. So in conversations with them too on how we can partner together, whether it's through grant programs or just like speaker series, and also how we can connect Nepalis with their efforts in the United States as well, whether it's through funding or just like media awareness or connecting them with Western journalists, right?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So there's something that's specific that I'll share right now that I'm working on, and then most probably the American Embassy is going to be a part of it as well. So we're traveling very soon in the coming 6 months, let's say. We're going to be traveling with Dr. Sandukruit.
Wow.
And we're going to various parts of the US, and we're definitely talking to the Nepali diaspora and beyond. And it's going to be a fantastic way to connect with the diaspora and friends who definitely love and adore Nepal as well, to be able to see amazing work that Dr. Ruit is doing here in Nepal, and let's see how far we can take that as well. And thank you so much. Recently, you joined me at Tilganga and loved it.
Yeah, incredible tour, and it was great to see because our colleagues at USAID have a long partnership with Tilganga and its facilities. So just great to see how their support has helped expand Tilganga's operations so vastly. And we even saw an operation or two over there as well, right?
That was something that I personally was not ready for. So next time when anybody goes to Tilganga and has probably sees this as well, that I was fascinated by it. So I don't know if you guys can pull up. There's this My Story as well. I just want to quickly, if that's okay with the both of you as well.
I've seen it, so
I've seen
prepared.
it too.
I'm prepared. Yeah,
me too. Let's go ahead and show it to Miss V. Do you have that clip? Yeah, show it to everybody. So recently, let me recap this for everybody. We went to Tilganga a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and we met with the amazing people who do fantastic work at Tilganga Hospital. And there you go, Mike. There you go. That's the live operation that was happening. And then these are the contractual lenses that are made in Nepal and exported all around the world. So this was great to see such amazing work. And Mike, it was a pleasure to see Tilganga together with you.
Yeah, and just Dr. Ruit is just what a great example of a hero. For like, not just Nepal but globally, just how he cares about people truly, and it's really just about helping people for him.
Exactly, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. Ruit's time as well. You know, I've sat down with him once a few times, and every time, like we sat down together, every time I sit with him, I'm mesmerized, and he's somebody that I genuinely look up to.
Good guy, humble guy too.
Very humble person. You should meet him too.
Yeah, I think I must go.
I'll pan this out, and then we'll try to get him to the exhibition.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's great. That sounds good, no?
एक्जिबिसन कहिले छ किशोर दाई ठ्याक्क र कति गाह्रो भयो एक्जिबिसन मिलाउनको लागि नेपालमा त्यो पनि च्यालेन्जेस पनि भनिदिनु न
एकदमै च्यालेन्जेस लाइक फर्स्ट कुरा त आई फिल स्याड अबाउट म लास्ट टाइम न्युयोर्क गएपछि चाहिँ द ड्रिम अझ लार्जर भएको थियो किनभने द ग्यालरी द्याट आई सी इन न्युयोर्क इज म्यासिभ
ओके
आई विस वान डे नेपाल should have that sort of size.
It'll come.
So we can put more bigger pictures, right? And that way, like, the dream theo and art council is only the place that I can put big pictures. And त्यसमा पनि date was so difficult to get. एकदमै गाह्रो भएको थियो. We planned for November, this week December, फेरि January फेरि 6 गऱ्यो हैन. So finally we announced like 7 to 14 for public.
Okay.
गर्छौँ हामी and 2 दिन चाहिँ हामीले एकदमै पब्लिक प्लेसमा गर्न प्लान गरेका छौँ एक्ज्याक्ट ठाउँ चाहिँ भएको छैन हामीले भ्यालीमा 2 ठाउँमा गर्छौँ काठमाडौँ भक्तपुर पाटनमध्ये 2टा ठाउँमा चाहिँ विल डु द पब्लिक सो द्याट्स गन बी फन
सो पब्लिक सो पनि हुन्छ होइन त भक्तपुर पाटन र
काठमाडौँमा विल चुज 2 प्लेस लाइक बेसिकली अहिले हाम्रो प्लान चाहिँ खास बसन्तपुर र भक्तपुर नै हो
ओके
अब लजिस्टिकहरू पनि मिलाउन गाह्रै छ कि इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट एक्चुली दिस फर आर्ट तर अब मैले इनिसियल रिसर्च गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ पर्मिसनदेखि लिएर पेमेन्टहरूदेखि लिएर एक्चुली द्याट्स फर कन्ट्री बट लाइक आई डोन्ट नो त्यो चाहिँ अलिक गाह्रै रहेछ कि ट्रिकी रहेछ सो वी वर्किङ अन इट इट विल ह्यापन फर स्योर
सो बिस्तारै बिस्तारै चाहिँ त्यो सबै पनि मिलाउने प्लान छ होइन माइक यही कुरामा म थोरै टच बेस गर्न चाहन्छु होइन अब कहाँ जानु मन छ त कुन ठाउँमा चाहिँ अझ यो भनौँ न यो 3 वर्षको दौरानमा चाहिँ आफूलाई जानु मन छ
Well, next week I'll be in Lumbini, and then driving to Surkhet.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I think it'll be faster just to drive from Lumbini to Surkhet, maybe like an 8-hour day trip to get to Surkhet afterwards, right? Yeah. But we have a new AFCP project actually, a new AFCP project that we're inaugurating with the Lumbini Museum. So we'll go over there and just check the progress of that project. In addition to that, we're launching the next phase of our Youth and Policy and Governance grant. So really what that is looking to do is help develop the capacity of young civil society leaders at the provincial level. So there's a new cohort that'll meet out there as well.
No, this is the first time you're going to be
That'll
going
be my first
to
time.
Lumbini.
Yeah. So I've been thus far in 2.5 months. Been up to Mustang, Upper Mustang, flew to Everest, went to Chittawan, and so now Lumbini and Surkhet, and so hoping to make my way around the country.
You've already done a lot, but Lumbini is going to be okay. So I can talk about Lumbini forever and ever, but I'm going to briefly summarize it.
Please.
One of my favorite place in the planet. Okay, like the whole planet. There's a specific spot that I really enjoy, and every time when friends come over and they talk about Lumbini, I make sure that I embed this.
Okay.
So there's the Maya Devi temple where Buddha was born. Mm-hmm. Right next to it is an amazing small little pond.
And there's a tree.
Okay.
There's a tree. Every time this is for me personally, every time I go near that tree, I feel at peace. Mm-hmm. Whatever is going through in my life, whatever is happening in my life, I forget about it. I obviously my phone's like God knows where it is.
Good.
All my problems are solved.
Yeah.
And I just sit right under that tree. And sometimes when I get lucky, there are amazing monks chanting right next to it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll have to find time.
So please find time. Please stay there for even if it's for a minute of your life and feel the inner peace because Lord Buddha was born right next to it.
Okay. Thank you, brother. I will do that, and I won't have my phone with me, but afterwards I'll send you a photo of it.
No,
Is
no,
that it? Okay.
no.
Yeah.
This is the whole Lumini.
No, this is not the place.
This is not the
Okay.
place, but this is the whole Lumini circuit. You
Oh,
definitely,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
go for it.
Wow,
Just
wow.
show a bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh-huh.
This is within Lumini. There are
Okay.
different countries, and different countries have definitely have their own sites.
Mm.
So these are this is like from I think last year when I was in Lumini. So
Uh-huh.
Tarai and the planes, the whole experience. You're
Okay.
gonna love it. Like
Okay.
we just showed you a gist of it,
Yeah.
but
I can't wait.
You're gonna love it.
Can't wait. And so actually when Kishor Dai and I were in I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the spot right
Okay,
there.
that's so the
That's
tr-
exact-
the
that's
tree-
the-
That's
okay.
the
Yeah.
temple right there.
Okay.
And then that's the small lake. What do you have to
Okay.
you'll experience.
Okay.
You were
But
saying?
yeah, so when we were in Mustang, actually, Kishor and I took a detour from Kishor's group, and we went down to Chungsi Cave. And in that cave, Padmasan Baba, our Guru Rinpoche, had meditated there for how long? For several years, as he was in exile. And so, the whole trip I was, with my team, but that was like one of the moments I just kind of had to myself, where it's that, hey guys, I'll catch up with you. And I sat in that cave probably for like 20, 30 minutes and just, reflected on the significance of it. But then I just sat in stillness and, meditated in that. And it was just a really, such a powerful experience. And I think that was one of the standout moments, even though you're not supposed to cling and have these standout moments in your meditations. I realized that, but it was still an amazing experience that I really felt just connected to the land there at that time in that cave. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that. But afterwards, we went back to the car and we had a flat tire. So I don't know what that means.
Next time when I go there, I'm gonna try to go out and recreate that.
Okay.
And I really want you to experience my favorite spot
In,
in the
in Mustang, there are a lot of places that you feel difference. Like Argumba, if you remember.
Yeah.
And like literally, I lost myself actually.
Argumba?
Kargumba,
Kargumba.
Kargumba. And I think like Mike also felt so
Yeah.
same actually.
Yeah.
Once you bang in, you're there like there's a God for sure. There's power actually. And I felt, and I told Meena. Meena also felt the same actually. And then Mike also told me that same stuff. The
Yeah.
feel that happened inside the Kargumba.
Yeah. And just, it wasn't just us on this trip. We were meeting a lot of contacts along the way and a lot of alumni from the American Embassy programming. And I think they shared the same sentiment, and they're from there too, right? So it's
Something
their
different.
daily, it's their lived existence up there.
I feel like
So,
I have no like weight and like I was just like calm and like it was just it's a different experience.
No, that's awesome. No, that's the whole point, right? You're in the land of the Buddha.
Yeah.
You're in the land of Everest. Like
Yeah.
that's something that you definitely.
Yeah.
The spirituality is definitely embedded in our soil, and I'm glad that Mike, you felt this too.
Yeah, and I actually I forgot to mention when I was first here in 2006. After I got back to Kathmandu, I actually drove in this old Land Cruiser up to Kadari to the border and crossed the Friendship Highway into the Tibetan Autonomous Region, and I drove for about 2 weeks over to Lhasa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so-
you ended up going to Potala.
I did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I took like a kind of a western route. I forget all the names of the locations, but it was just that place is incredible. Just for the altitude. So you're so high up. There's barely any clouds in the sky. The sky is kind of like an electric blue color, kind of like the flag here, the Nepali flag on your desk. And there were just pilgrims all along the road, prostrating along the way over to the Patala, and just amazing experience. So when we went back to Mustang, I definitely just had like flashbacks to that incredible road
Landscape,
trip.
yeah.
Yeah, landscape back in 2006.
Oh wow. Have you been to Lhasa yet?
No.
I'm thinking of 2025 taking a
Okay.
trip over there. I'll definitely get some pointers from you.
Okay,
as well.
yeah.
Because I'm definitely looking forward to two places I definitely want to see next year. One is Potala, one is the Great Wall. So that's definitely in my bucket list. But I'll definitely get some pointers from you as well. Wow, amazing! No, I didn't know that you crossed over in 2006 itself.
2006, yeah.
Wow, so Lumini
Lifetime
now,
ago.
and then Surkhet. What else do you want to do, Mike?
I'm open to suggestion, guys. So like, where should
No,
I go next?
I was planning to give him the list because I've traveled entire Lumbini province. I told you I'm gonna pass you some videos and all the list, and you will get crazy.
Thank you, and because really, I mean, a lot of what we do, is outreach. So trying to create new connections, especially with educational institutions, to share educational program opportunities, whether that's through like the International Visitor Leadership Program, IVLP, or like the Fulbright program, or Education USA. Just let people know what's available for academic opportunities for people around the country, as well as talk about our grants programs as well. So just wherever you think are great spots with people eager to share those ideas with us, would love to know.
No, we're game on that. I want my team to open the embassy's Instagram. I believe I saw Ambassador Thompson's message shortly right before we started. I kind of want to show that, and I believe that's for the Youth Council, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Show that to everybody. The first one.
The first one.
Yeah. Mike, would you want to slightly touch base on this?
Yeah, so it's the U.S. He's promoting applications for the next round of the U.S. Youth Council. So applications are open until December 18th, so there's still time. And we will select 50 new members. And so basically, the Youth Council is this network of about 600 young next generation leaders, scholars, and professionals. And within this group, they form groups. We give funding to them to do community projects related to like entrepreneurship, women's empowerment, climate change issues, key issues that are really affecting the youth of Nepal. So it's just a great opportunity for them to network and get to know us at the embassy. And so, the ambassador, that video has all the details of that. And he filmed that recently in Surkhet as well, outside of the American corner.
That's solid. That's awesome. Not because Mike, you're here, or not because of the amazing work that the U.S. Embassy has done and this fantastic exhibition that's lined up here. There's something that earlier when you were sharing a story, I just wanted to share this with everybody. How things have changed. A lot of people know that I travel to US constantly to hang out with friends or just catch up with friends. And again, the Nepali diaspora is like we go hand in hand. We do so many different things together. There's a specific moment in my life that I always go back to, Kishor Dai. And I'm sure earlier you were mentioning New York, right? You mentioned New York too, right?
Best city on earth. Yeah.
It's amazing. For me, Kathmandu, and then I'll touch base on New York. I remember sitting in those red steps. I don't know if you've ever sat down in the red steps.
Times Square?
Yeah, Times Square. Have you ever sat down there?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Times Square last time.
Mike, it's... I still remember this like it was yesterday. For the first time when I was sitting in red steps, looking at that 180-degree view, from left to right, and looking at those amazing lights, amazing screens. I can't remember what we're playing in the screens, right? But the thing that was going in my mind was, man, if I could harness all the electricity from here and bring it back home, I could light up one of the city.
Yeah.
At that time we didn't have a lot of lights back home in Nepal, right? So when earlier you said that there's such fantastic work happening, not just in the US, but Nepali diaspora doing such amazing work in the US, right?
Yeah.
This podcast started off because of an American podcaster who played a big influence in my life. He probably doesn't know it. So when I was in LA a long time ago, I remember going to a studio very similar to this, and then I said to myself, someday we also will have a studio probably similar to that, right? So the US has definitely played a big influence in my life,
Yeah.
And definitely with the Nepali diaspora, we could definitely go ahead and harness that power and that energy and then bring it here and try to do amazing things together. So hopefully in the next 3 years, we could collaborate and work together and beyond so that we could definitely enhance that and uplift our culture, our soil right here, So definitely looking forward to that.
Absolutely, man, 100%. And I think it's the power really comes in relationships and linkages. We can't do it ourselves. We have just a great community here to make that happen here in Nepal and with our diaspora friends too.
And we're definitely going to work towards that. And even with the exhibition, like what Kishor Dai was saying earlier, यो फोटोहरू हामीले अमेरिका मात्र होइन तर संसारैभरि लान सक्यो भने त्यो टुरिज्मको एस्पेक्ट कति बढ्छ होला कि मैले त्यो कल्पना गरिरहेको छु कि होइन जस्ट बाई लुकिङ एट दिस पिक्चर्स यु फिल लाइक oh man I wish I could go there right and I think that's what's gonna happen Kishor दाइ मलाई त्यस्तो लाग्छ है हजुरलाई के लाग्छ
I know it's gonna be happen I believe myself these days I see things in like it's going to be something special going to be happen for sure.
What next after this, Kishor? Where else do you want to go? What else have you been hiding?
I don't know. These days, I love to leave for today, and that's what because that's whole happiness things. I don't want to think about tomorrow. Let's forget it. Let's just enjoy today, and that's what tomorrow is actually.
Awesome, man. Love it.
Beautiful.
Mike, anything specific that you want to add to everybody who are listening right now?
So we talked about the AFCP grant opportunity. We talked about the Youth Council. One other thing is, in the coming weeks, we'll launch our Notice of Funding opportunity. What is that? It's a NOFO. That's government speak for a grant application. So my team oversees grant projects at the embassy. So we're looking for people to submit concept papers for small grant programs here in Nepal. Usually they support community service initiatives as well as projects focused on climate change, again, women's empowerment, economic development projects, and really efforts that are led by civil society. But in addition to that, we're also open to proposals sent from the United States from organizations that are looking to help Nepali communities. So check out our Facebook or our website. We'll have all the details of that grant application. And the good news is it's an open application, and we look at submissions on a rolling basis. So hopefully submit something by January. But if you have a great idea that comes up in June, we're happy to take a look at it. And if we like the concept paper, we'll be in touch and we can develop that project a little more fully in detail.
Yeah, that's awesome, and we'll definitely share that as well. Kishor, anything specific you want to say to all the photographer friends that we have?
I want to see you all guys in my exhibitions. I think like the picture will tell you everything.
तस्बिरले सबै थोक बताउँछ होइन वान लास्ट थिङ मलाई सोध्नु मन लागेको चाहिँ कोही साथीले सोचिरह होला अहिले होइन कि म पनि ल्यान्डस्केप फोटोग्राफीतिर जान्छु होइन मलाई पनि ल्यान्डस्केप हाम्रो देश देखाउनु मन छ चिनाउनु मन छ संसारैभरि होइन त्यो साथीलाई के भन्नु मन छ
द बेस्ट प्लेस इन द अर्थ नेपालमा ल्यान्डस्केपको भेरिएसन जुन पाउँछ हामीले जुन लाइटहरू त्यो बेस्ट अफ बेस्टै हो अनि मलाई लाग्छ नेपालमा ल्यान्डस्केप फोटोग्राफी त्यति गरे पनि छैन कि एक्सप्लोर गरेको छैन सो प्रली हुन त म आम नट अ ल्यान्डस्केप फोटोग्राफर आइम जस्ट लाइक म आफूलाई आर्टिस्ट भन्न रुचाउँछु होइन तर नेपालमा बिगेस्ट अपर्च्युनिटी किन इस्ट टु वेस्ट इमेजिन कति राम्रो ठाउँहरू छ अनि नेपाल इज सच अ ब्युटिफुल प्लेस एक दिनमा हिमालबाट तराई पुग्ने देश हो सो इट्स अ फ्यान्टास्टिक अपर्च्युनिटी आफू पनि ह्याप्पी हुन र यो त्यो काम to present for the world.
Exactly. So you could definitely go ahead and jump into this as well. Can you put up a picture of the exhibition, the poster, so that we can show it to everybody? And as a Moile Choina Mike, I didn't touch base on all the amazing other things that you do as well, Mike. We'll touch base on that later.
Would love to.
Whenever I have health professionals come in or friends who are definitely into fitness, I'll invite you back again because we all know how fit you are, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
And definitely many
Talk
other
about
things.
my routine, yeah.
I love the gym that you have, that you built for yourself. Kishor Dai, please, सबैजनालाई निम्त्याउनु पर्यो भने.
Yeah, please, let's celebrate Nepal. नेपालको ब्युटी र स्पिरिचुअल प्लेस अनि यो पोस्टरमा चाहिँ जम्मा इन्टायर पिक्चरको 1% हो सो 99% इन्जोय गर्न प्लिज भिजिट एन्ड लेट्स सेलिब्रेट नेपाल आई वान्ट सी यु एभ्रीबडी देयर प्लिज
7th of January बाट सुरु हुन्छ
7 देखि 14 सम्म फर पब्लिक 10 to 5 अनि हाम्रो 5 to 7 हाम्रो प्राइभेट सोहरू पनि हुन्छ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ रजिस्ट्रेसन गर्नुपर्छ सो इफ यु नो लाइक अलिक कम मान्छे भएको टाइममा भयो चाहिँ रजिस्टर गर्ने देन लाइक विल सर्टली विल नोटिस कसरी गर्ने यताउताहरू भनेर
यसको त सबै डिटेल हामी हालि नै हाल्छौँ
अनि लेट्स प्रमोट सबै आएर I'm open. Like, please come and make TikTok reel. Just hashtag Nepal Mustang artist.
Yeah.
I'm like मेरो बारे भन्दा नि मेरो देशको बारे प्रमोट गरौँ. आई थिङ्क द अहिलेको सोसियल मिडिया पावर इज भेरी हाई. म त त्यति चलाउँदिनँ तर आइएम एक्सपेक्टिङ हन्ड्रेड्स अफ थाउजन्ड्स अफ मान्छेहरू आउनेछौँ अनि सबैले रिल बनाएर नेपाल प्रमोट गरौँ भन्ने कुरा हो क्या. अनि एउटा प्रयास पनि लेट्स से मेरो पर्सनल फिलिङ्स आई थिङ्क इट्स गोन बी पोसिबल. लेट्स ट्राई. अब हामीले प्रुभ गरौँ. टुरिज्म बोर्डले 10 वर्ष गर्ने प्रमोसन हामी 7 दिनमा सबै जनताहरू मिलेर गरौँ.
गर्ने र म टुरिज्म बोर्डको साथीहरूलाई पनि अहिले नै मेसेज पठाइहाल्छु होइन. यो सकिने बित्तिकै यही पोस्टर पठाउँछु. मै निम्त्याइदिन्छु. हजुर टेन्सन होइन. मै निम्त्याउँछु उहाँहरूलाई पनि होइन. र लेट्स सी वाट वी क्यान डु विथ द मिनिस्ट्री एज वेल एन्ड विल ट्राई टु हेल्प आउट मोर एन्ड थ्याङ्क्स टु द US Embassy, Mike. And this is just the beginning. This is just one thing this is just the first collaboration that we're doing together, and then many more. And we'll be more than happy to promote it. Vyas Media Network is definitely there to promote it over the years.
Awesome.
Not just 3 years, but over the years as well. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. See you again. Mike, see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kishor, see you again.
Thank you.
Awesome. Vyas Media Network.